If you'd like to see more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMtrading. Today's April 21st, 2020, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, just one event coming out of United Kingdom. It's a Claimant Count change, which really gauges the unemployment in the UK. Now, looking at the markets, we're watching the major pairs just inching lower versus the US dollar. Let's see if they actually have a breakout. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, it sold off yesterday, but bouncing off a support at 23,100 this morning. Let's see if it could sustain that support level. And next, looking at the commodities, gold pretty much tapers off while June oil contract starts selling off to $21 a barrel. Now, looking lastly at the stocks, IBM came out with corporate earnings yesterday, lowers its guidance for the balance of 2020 without any kind of gauge of letting us know which way the market's going. Remember, the markets don't like uncertainty. However, Amazon and certain stocks like Netflix are still very, very strong. So there's that rotation in the markets. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trade. So we're jumping into the Euro USD at a 4-hour chart. You can see pretty much that we've leveled off here at 108.20-ish level, but nothing to write home about. Okay, we're in a 20 to 30 pip range, which is really very tight for the Euro USD. The question is if it's going to break out on either direction, okay, closer to this direction on the bottom side, then we could see it go back down to 107.84. Now, this is still very tight, okay? If you're going to be trading something, I would recommend trading the US stocks, trading the Dow, because the Forex symbols have still been in a very, very tight range. However, looking at the GBP USD, we see it actually tapering off as well. Okay, now between the two, I would expect this one to actually sell off more, okay, as it has more volatility than the Euro USD. Especially if it breaks this support-ish area at 24.17-ish area, because that was a previous resistance-ish area. So something to look forward to there. Now, looking at the Aussie dollar, just trading sideways, okay, having some resilience, but again, nothing really to write home about. Now, jumping into gold, it's really tapering off at 16.92, not giving us that direction on the upside. And if we look at a daily chart, okay, it's pretty much just looks like it's developing somewhat of a bull flag, okay, but it has to break above this area, okay, above the 1746 to give us that confirmation. But let's see if it does do that. Now, looking at oil, we see it gap up to $24 yesterday and then sell off to $21.19. So this has really been just very, very weak. Now, it could, if it does break this $20 area again, okay, which is only $1.17 away from it, then we could definitely see it go into the teens, okay, which is very scary because it really means that all this oil producing companies are going to be in the negative, and God knows how much cash they have in reserve to sustain themselves throughout this pandemic. So something to consider as we go there. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, now we spoke about this several times. It is bouncing here at support at 23,100-ish level after selling off and developing this downwards trend line. Okay, so just be aware that this trend line is existing. Okay, it may see it actually using the moving average, the 14-day moving average, as a resistance line. Now, remember, we do have this several support areas. So for it to break this 23,100, it's got to be really very important. Okay, we're about 300 points away from that right now, and we did hit almost that at about 23,150, looking at from this angle. Okay, so just keep this in mind later today. Now, looking at the individual stocks, we're seeing separate stories, right? When we're looking at Amazon, close to its all-time highs. Now, let's look at a weekly chart. I mean, Amazon did fantastic out of this situation, and the reason is that they're the biggest online retailer, and as long as they're getting the business that other retailers were supposed to get. Okay, I'm talking about the retail business, the foot traffic. Now Amazon is getting that traffic. However, looking forward to this, okay, this may change, okay, especially since next week, April 30th, is when Amazon is going to actually come out with their earnings. So something to look forward to there. The other one that's really been very strong is Netflix. However, it does look like it's making a double top here, but nevertheless, it has been very, very strong. Now, these stocks may turn on a dime if they if there's some weakness in the markets in terms of things related to them. Okay. Now, this is a pandemic. A pandemic means it's systemic. It means everybody on the earth is affected by it. Okay. So even if Amazon is going up and Amazon's getting other people's business, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be able to sustain that business in the long term. Okay. So we may see a correctional move at some point. I'm not saying it's happening today, but looking at the stocks that have been weak, Apple selling off from 287 down to 276, kind of picking up on that momentum on the downside. JP Morgan is the other one. Okay, been very, very weak, selling off to 91.95 from our high of $97 from last Friday. Okay, so something to consider as this is making further corrections. Now, lastly, I'm going to discuss Alcoa, okay, which has been, let's just bring it up more properly. Alcoa is one of the largest aluminum manufacturing companies in the United States. Now, you could pretty much see that we haven't been at these levels since 2008, 2009. Okay, let's just get a little bit further into that. We can see that a little bit clearer. On a monthly chart, there we go. I apologize for having that issue. Okay, but you can see pretty much that we're testing our low of 2008, 2009, which means that durable goods, dishwashing machine, washing machines, cars, any sort of aluminum or metal-based production manufacturing companies, they're having a very hard time right now. Okay, this is that graph. Now, if we do break this area at $6.50, this could go to the single digits. Okay, and this will be reminiscent of something close to even 2001, 2002. Okay, so this is how bad it is. Okay, this is the severity of the situation. The markets haven't picked up to it yet, but it's a matter of time to a certain degree. Okay, so that's just a little pointer in terms of the direction of where we're going. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.